decided to go to a lake while we're staying in Nantes. Fucking Danielle is just like punched something into Google Maps and...
I just picked a chateau on Google Maps.
Look where we are. Fucking hell.
Why am I indicating? We've still got 7 minutes of this kind of driving to do. This ain't right. Oh, Tyler, the car's locked. Bonjour, bienvenue. Nothing? Mute.
Nothing.
Good morning. We are in Bordeaux. We've spent the last week in Nantes doing some house sitting. Nantes. Doing house sitting, looking after a little cat called Pokey, having a little stroll around, going to markets, doing lots of editing, and just refreshing after our big whirlwind Irish, English, Scottish tour. And so now we're here in Bordeaux and we are visiting some wine regions today, but unlike Australia, you need to book everything in advance. You cannot just rock up and have a wine tasting. And so we're in a bit of a scramble, but we are in Chateau Villemarin. So there's some vineyards around, we're running late, Tyler's furious.
Not only do you need to book wineries to go and see them, for the most part you can't get away with just a tasting. You end up doing a full tour of the winery. We are here in Saint-Emilion, one of Bordeaux's premier wine regions. The town is actually built upon a network of catacombs carved into the limestone cliff in the 12th century. The mined limestone was used to build housing, and the cavity was eventually turned into the monolithic church that features in the centre of town. While not hosting dead people anymore, the excavations have become the perfect place to barrel and age wine from this region. What are you getting? Give me the notes. Give me everything. Delicious, undelicious.
It's bloody good, mate.
Wait, are you some kind of sommelier or something?
Pardon?
You're a sommelier.
Oui, Popo, c'est très bien. D'accord. Why are they closing the blinds? It's fucking boiling in here. Get a ceiling fan, dogs. Like, love Europe. Get some fucking ventilation. Why are you closing them? I can't breathe in here. Get a ceiling fan, get some air conditioning, crack a window.
Cherry.
You understand how close up we're being right now? Like how big our face is going to be on people's television?
Everything at the front. It's very expressive, very charming one, but at the front, with everything here. So here it seems to be sweeter because it's rounder. Yeah. It's not so intense at the front. Yeah. But you feel the one.
It's a mellow flavour.
In the middle and at the end. Yeah.
Could drink bottles of this.
Very ridiculous.
Maybe 3.
We're
We can't turn.
vehicle hunting, park hunting.
Vehicle park hunting.
Turn there?
What's this? What's this?
And that is, I think,
Loading zone.
loading zone.
Anything in there?
Not that I can see. This is problematic. So we got a park and we're in Saint-Emilion, about to have some lunch, and we've just ordered some vinos.
Vinos.
So here we have a Blanc Sec and a Blanc Demi-Sec. The difference between these two is when you've had a lot of water to drink and you take a slash, as opposed to not having any water at all. This is what your urine will look like. Oh shit, that's good. It's sweet. It's full-bodied. It's refreshing. I'm enjoying it. It tastes dehydrated, like your piss would be if you didn't have any water all day. This is our first stop. How do you feel about me getting you standing in this doorway?
Yeah, well, cramping up. Too much wine, not enough water.
You've had 2 glasses. Cool your jets.
You're like, oh, do this, do that. Like, just because I'm a natural model doesn't mean I know what I'm doing. I haven't done it as a profession, you know what I mean?
Well, you're certainly behaving like an absolute fucking diva.
Yeah, well,
If that counts for anything, you get that on the big jobs.
If that brings in the money, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You make me sick.
Yeah, find us on the Instas and YouTubes and whatnot. Our details are in there. If you want me to model for you, reach out. I'll be your guy.
We're going to have this as a regular edition now. We're in Europe.
Yeah.
Tyler standing in doorways, confused. Yeah. The original. The pilot.
I learned it from my sister.
Part 1.
Somerset. G'day afternoon. We've been to one winery so far. Now we're in Saint-Emilion, south east of Bordeaux, so the Bordeaux region. And when you go to wineries here, you need to book in advance, and they actually take you for a tour through the winery, which is kind of not what we're really after. We
just want some cellar doors.
We want some cellar doors. We want to taste what they're after.
But that was a fun tour this morning at Chateau
Villamarine.
Sure.
But this one here, we get to sneak in for €7 each, and we just do tastings.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. That's the vibe anyway.
Yeah, so this is a family-owned business, not a big conglomerate.
Chateau Coutet.
And we're really good at cameras because there's all these beautiful vineyards in this background, and we've got the cars. There we go. That's cute. So we're hoping we're terrible, like people going to other countries and ordering their home cuisine. So we're hoping this is a little bit more of like an Australian cellar door where we can just go in, have a chat, try a few different wines, take it easy, and not have a tour with 5 children on it.
Children not welcome.
Chatting. Rah, rah, rah.
We'll see you in there. Alrighty, the fun facts of Bordeaux. We know it's a wine region. Everyone knows it's a wine region. But quickly, do you know how big a wine region it is? It's about 287,000 acres of vineyards. 10,000 estates that produce, wait for it, 960 million bottles of wine per year. Yeah, they get amongst it. Just been nice to have a Bordeaux in Bordeaux.
Happy place, happy face.
What have you done?
This is why I wear black clothing. I know who I am.
All right, Danielle, what are these all about?
I'm not going to pretend that either of us knew what these were, but they are a traditional local sweet to Bordeaux. So we noticed everyone walking around eating these in all the specialty shops. So we just pulled over and bought two. I think they're pronounced quenelles. The story goes that they are made by nuns in the 17th century when winemakers would only use egg whites to use in their wine. They would give the yolks to the nuns who made these little treats. Later they added rum and vanilla to them, and I think they're called quenelles. So we're just like rocking down Rue de Sainte Catherine, which is the main shopping district, and bought one at the first shop that we saw. And then I did a bit of Googling, and it's like the most famous is the Balladrin, which is directly next door. But here we go anyway. Oh, they're chewy. Nah, shit. Tastes like a cold crepe with old rum. It tastes like the dregs of a rum, like a Bacardi and Coke, poured into a crepe and then overcooked. I don't want to eat that. Do you want some? They come in three sizes. I'm glad we didn't get the big one. Bonjour. And this is your favourite thing, isn't it?
Yeah. In direct opposition to Danielle, it's like I'm on the Caribbean islands again. This is delicious. It's like a nice little balance between rum and
spongy. Give me a squeeze.
And like this pineapple sweetness to it.
Nightmare.
Oh, it's delicious.
Us standing in the middle of this busy street. Filming is a nightmare for all the passers-by. You need light and shade in a relationship. You need some yin and some yang. Highs and lows, peaks and troughs. People with taste and people without it.
Now, time for some more Bordeaux fun facts. Did you know that the earliest ever recording of wine being made in this region is back to 4 AD? That's a bloody long time. Might be why they're so bloody good at making their wines. Now, what actually makes a Bordeaux a Bordeaux? It's quite interesting. It's not actually the blend of the grapes that makes a Bordeaux a Bordeaux. There's only specific grapes that can be used in order for a wine to be called a Bordeaux wine. Now, let me refer to my notes because I'm no vino expert. But in a red, you need Cab Sauv, Cab Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot, Malbec, and rarely used Caminiere. Now, they're the only permitted grapes allowed to be used. But it goes further than that. That's just talking about the reds. There's the whites as well, but we'll focus on the reds. Now, beyond that, in order for a wine to be called a Bordeaux, it needs to be aged in barrels that are made in the Bordeaux region. And everything about the process needs to be Bordeaux oriented, Bordeaux focused. And it's such a big deal. And as soon as you source a barrel and age your wine in a barrel from elsewhere, you need to then change the name of your wine to a Bordeaux, whatever it may be, wherever that barrel has come from. And as soon as you put another name, another location on that wine, it just drops the value of the wine. So that's why so many wineries in this region have so few wines on their list, because they really focus on that process, because it ups the value of their wine, it means they produce less, it means it's all about that money. But that's what a Bordeaux is. It's not necessarily just a specific blend of grape. So every Bordeaux would taste different based on the style and the location, the chateau that it comes from. But there you go, more Bordeaux facts.
Bonjour, good morning. You don't have to hear that anymore because it's our last morning in France for a little while. We're heading to Spain today. But we're just spending our last morning here in the reflecting pool in Bordeaux, probably the nicest place in Bordeaux to be honest, and having a little croissant before we hit the road. As with so many things in France, we've got some fun facts about these gorgeous buttery dreams. Marie Antoinette is the reason why these were introduced to Paris or to France, because She married the French King Louis XVI. She was an Austrian fellow, and Austria shares a border with the old Ottoman Empire, which is where coffee actually derives from in Europe. And so there's two stories of why croissants were made. One, the idea was that the Ottomans and the Austrians were at a lot of beef together, and one night the Austrians held off an attack from the Ottomans, the Turkish, and so they made a treat in celebration, which is the crescent moon. I've eaten half of this, but the crescent moon on the Turkish flag. And so they made a treat to celebrate their defeat of holding off the Turkish. I'm not really sure about that story. The other one was that when Marie Antoinette went to France to marry King Louis XVI and eventually get her head chopped off, they wanted to make a treat to go with coffee, and coffee came from Turkey, and so they made a Turkish-style treat. So again, the crescent moon of the Turkish flag is why there is the croissant. It goes with coffee, and then the French added a bunch of butter to it and made it better. I like that story better. Not the end of it when Marie gets her head cut off brutally, but anything that ends up with me eating this daily, I'm into. Thanks heaps for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to click all the things and head to the playlist for the rest of the European adventure. You can see where we started and how the bloody hell we got here on Never Not.